Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabe. I welcome you to Structure of Birds. Birds are vertebrates. They have a vertebral column and a skull. So we are looking at the bird and we are saying they are vertebrates. And what makes them to be vertebrates is that they have a vertebral column. That one is what we call a vertebral column. And they have also got a skull. That's why we refer to them as vertebrates. They are warm-blooded animals. That means that they maintain their body temperature at a constant level and above their surroundings. So the birds, they have a warm-blooded body. That means that their body temperature does not depend on the environment. Whether the environmental temperature is low or it is high, the body temperature of the bird remains constant. They have a constant temperature. Therefore, we refer to them as warm-blooded animals. Their distinguishing characteristics are that they have feathers and their four limbs are modified to form wings. So one of the things that distinguish them, or the characteristic that distinguish them, are the feathers. They have feathers on the body and their four limbs. The four limbs are modified into wings. The four limbs are modified into wings. The feathers consist of a shaft with a row of fine filaments, or what we call the barbs, on each side. So we have a feather here, and we are saying the feather has a shaft. A shaft is that middle part, is what we call a shaft. And this shaft has a rows of fine filaments, or what we call barbs. These ones that are moving from the shaft are what we call the barbs. They are filaments and they are on either side of the shaft. The barbs themselves have finer filaments, which we call the barbules, branching from them. Now, if we look at the shaft here, enlarged, you will see that we have this one as the shaft. And these ones that we have that are going on the sides are the ones that we call the barbs. Those ones are the barbs. Now, those barbs, they also have finer filaments, And those finer filaments are what we are calling the barbules. Those ones that are coming off from the barbs are what we call the barbules. Those small fine filaments, the ones that we call the barbules, and they are attached to the barbs. In the down feathers, the barbs and the barbules are loose and fluffy. Fluffy means that they are not interwoven, or they are not attached to each other. Here we have our shaft here. This is a shaft, and the shaft has filaments which we call now the barbs. Now those barbs, they also have other small filaments coming from them. Those ones we are not seeing because they are very small. Those are called the barbules. But when you look at the barbs and the barbules of the down feathers, they are fluffy, or they are loose. They are not interconnected. They are not interlocked. That's what we are calling, they are fluffy or they are loose. They trap an insulating layer of air close to the body and so reduce heat loss. So these barbs and the barbules, they are fluffy and loose. The reason why they are loose is that looseness allows them to trap air in between them. They will trap air in between them, and we know that air is a poor conductor of heat. So when air is trapped in between the barbs and the barbules, it becomes an insulator. It does not allow the body to lose heat to the environment. The barbs and barbules of the flight and covert or contour feathers are organized in a regular way, forming a smooth, water-resistant cover. Those are the barbules and the barbs of the covert and flight feather. When you look at this flight feather, you will see that the barbs are organized and they form what we call the vein, which vein is resistant to water. Now, if you look at them, and when they have magnified, this is our shaft, and here we have the barbs going off from the shaft. Then from the shaft, we have other small ones, which we are calling the barbs. If you look at the barbs of one barbule and the barbs of a next barbule, they are interlocked. And that interlocking is the one which is going to make the feather to become water resistant. The barbules overlap so that the hooks on one set of barbules engage with the groove of the other set. So when we look back here on our enlarged enlarged shaft, you will see that you have the shaft and then you have the barb. Now from the barb, you will see that you have the barbules. And those barbules, when you look at them and you look at the other barb, you will also see that it also has barbules coming out. And those barbules, they are interlocking into each other. So let us try to magnify this one. When we magnify it, this is what we are going to have. Here you will have the hooks in the lower barbule locks into the trough in the upper barbule. Now, we have here the hooks. These ones we can see, they are the hooks. You have the hooks there. If we can all of us see that there are hooks here. Now those hooks, they are going to lock in the hoofs. Down here we have the troughs, which we are calling the grooves. So you have the grooves here down where the hooks are going to lock themselves. So the barbs will overlap and the hooks on one set of the barbule are going to engage with the groove on the other one and they will interlock. If the feathers get damaged in flight, they can be restored to shape by pruning. Now we have already seen the hen or the birds pruning themselves. What they are doing is that they are trying to make sure that the hooks go back and interlock with the grooves. And when they interlock with the grooves, then the feathers will go back to the smooth position. But if they leave each other, that is, the hook moves away from the groove, then we are going to have a damaged feather, what we are calling damaged feathers. So those ones can be brought back to normal by pruning, whereby the hooks will lock with the grooves. Hello my friends, thank you very much for participating in the structure of birds. Please do like, share and subscribe.